we have got something interesting. Look at this, everyone. On top of that termite mound, can you see those rosettes? It's a young leopard. Wow, our afternoon has really turned. There's a few branches in our way. I'm going to see if I can't get another gap, but that leopard is almost hiding on top of that termite mound. I can't tell who it is now. I think it is one of Karula's cubs. I'm not too sure which one, though. I really can't tell from that. It's a bit too far, and even just seeing the back of the ears, it is impossible. So we'll just wait and see, and hopefully they move. So I'm assuming that the others might be around here too. Hopefully, that would be wonderful. Now, a lot of you are asking about that story with the leopard and the brown snake eagle and the mamba. Now, I actually don't know what happened in the end. The clip that I saw, and unfortunately I didn't see it personally, but I just saw the clip of it. And the leopard attacked the black mamba, and it looked almost like she hurt it bad enough that I don't know if she killed it. And like I said, I didn't see the end of the actual clip. I don't know the outcome, but managed to get the snake away from the bird. But the bird was obviously dead or in the process of dying because it had been bitten by that black mamba. So very, very interesting. I don't know if the mamba was killed by the leopard or not. I think possibly that mamba would have just got out of there as quickly as possible with that leopard going after it. But leopards, and this does happen, they do kill snakes. I've seen leopards, not once but a few times, feeding on massive big rock pythons that we get in this area. And it just shows you they are incredible at adapting to feeding on whatever is around, whatever is available. Anyway, let's see if this leopard over here decides to move for us. James, Richard, I think you saw the same clip that I did, and I think it was at Nkoro, if I'm not mistaken, and the female leopard that attacked the mamba was Tandi, who is Karula's oldest cub, if I'm not mistaken. So it's wonderful to be able to connect the lineage of these leopards. And that, yeah, so it was Tandi that was attacking that black mamba and trying to get the brown snake eagle away from it. That really is amazing. And I wouldn't tackle a leopard. I mean, a black mamba, that's for sure. So these leopards are very brave, but it just shows you how quick and how agile they are if they're able to take on a black mamba. I mean, I don't know the full story. I'm not sure when they actually found that specific sighting. I don't know if the brown snake eagle managed to injure the black mamba, causing it to be a little bit slower, or if it was absolutely fine, because I would think that it had to for the black mamba to actually get the eagle. Otherwise, the eagle would have been in the tree. So I'd assume that the eagle came down, tried to grab the snake, and the snake turned out to be a little bit too big for the eagle, and turned and bit it. And that venom of the mamba is so powerful, probably acted very, very quickly. Now I'm just going to have a look. Just seeing, there was another vehicle that was here. Looks like they're moving off. I just want to see if I can't find another little gap for us. We're starting to get a few raindrops at the moment. Now, I'm going to give it a few more minutes. We're getting a few drops, but it's not too bad yet. Let's just wait and see. Hopefully it misses us. What do you think, Dave? Are you okay there still? Might need a rain cover soon, but let's just... Okay, yeah, so we're just getting the few drops. We haven't got what the... There we go. Can you get a glimpse through there? Let's just see if we can get one more view of this leopard. There we go. You know what? Is that not a different one? Have a look on the top of the termite mound. It's hard to see now. Let me just move forward. Oh, yeah, they're both there. There's the other one. Can you see on top of the termite mound? So both cubs, what I think are the cubs. I'm just going to... Sorry, I'm moving backwards and forwards here, everyone. But, so that's a nice view of that one through there. And let's see. I wonder if we can see the male or female. Oh, looks like a female, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll wait and see a little bit. You know what? These drops have stopped. So we can still sit here for a little while. So 2 leopards on top of that termite mound. This is fantastic. And it is a bit of a tricky view, but fortunately we've got Dave in the camera. Gee, what a wonderful afternoon. Elephant and the leopards. It's only taken me about 3 days to find elephant and leopard. I've been trying very hard. But you see, good things come to those who are patient. Oh dear. Sure, we've got a bit of blue sky above us, so... Susie, good question. You wanted to know why we can't go closer, and I'm sorry I didn't explain to you. We are on our southern boundary, and these leopards have gone off into Little Gowrie, so we unfortunately aren't able to go across there. I should have told you that in the beginning, but I've managed to get a gap, a decent enough gap for us. It's also, I mean, we could definitely get in there if we were able to, but unfortunately we're not allowed to cross south. I did see one of the landowners as I was approaching the sighting, and I had a bit of a conversation with him. And I told him it was very necessary that we were able to go onto Little Gowrie. We are so fortunate with the traversing that we have already. We have got plenty of space. It just so happens that animals, you know, they move where they want, so it's not always easy. Can sometimes be a bit frustrating, but you know, that's the way it goes. And other days we'll have 1 or 2 lion prides on Djuma, or 2 or 3 leopards. It happens like that. And those leopards look very comfortable on that termite mound. I think also because it's been so windy and the threat of a bit of rain, maybe that's why these leopards are hunkered down on the termite mound, trying to stay out of the wind, even though up there they probably are getting a lot of the breeze. But you know what, it's most likely keeping them nice and cool. Pete, you want to know what would happen if I crossed the boundary? Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny that I've ever done that before in other areas. I mean, it's obviously frowned upon, and you're not meant to do it at all. And I would never do something like that. But if you do get caught, you would, you know, they will fine you for trespassing. you could get banned for good. So it's not a good idea to do it at all. People are very strict with land ownership and traversing, especially on the game reserves, because they do protect the areas that they obviously own. So. Now, just listening to my radio, and I know some of you might be wondering where the Nkuhuma Pride is. I'm not sure if you've got an update on them, but I just heard on the radio now that they think the Nkuhuma Pride actually crossed all the way north into the Manyaleti, which is out of the Sabi Sands. It's another section of game reserve north of the Sabi Sands, where we are. So that's quite far. It's the first time I've heard of them going that far north. Just shows you, I mean, we don't really know how, well, I don't really know how big their territory is, but I mean, by the sounds of things, if it extends into the Manyaleti, and we know for a fact they go all the way south down into Little Gowrie, and that's south of us, they do have a very large territory then. So very successful pride. So that's what's happened to the Nkuhuma Pride. But you never know. Tomorrow morning we could wake up and they could be right outside camp. And that's the joy of living out in the bush. You never know what you're going to see. Lisa, you have asked a question that I do not know the answer to, unfortunately, but I'm happy to learn, and I'm sure our viewers who follow the reserves and properties around this area will be able to help us. Lisa wants to know how many of Karula's offspring are still alive and still wandering around. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Tandi, Shadow, I think, Shadow one, Tandi, Shadow, these two, Hosana and Xongile, so that's 4, then and Quarantine. I'm terribly sorry, I just don't like that name, Quarantine, personally. I feel, I understand why they named him because of the area he grew up in and that, but I just feel it's such a sad name for a leopard, Quarantine. So that's 5 that we can think of. Obviously, these 2 cubs are still with the mother. So it's those 3. What is it? Did we say Sindile? Did we not say Sindile? Sindile is... So, but is Sindile a cub, I wonder? Or a cub of Karula's? All I know is she has been a very, very successful female leopard in this area. To raise so many cubs that have reached maturity and that have formed, territories for themselves, that is incredible. And they've also had cubs. Some of them have had cubs, so that is really, really wonderful. Okay, so Naomi, thank you very much for your comment. You say Karula has 10 living cubs that we know of, or 10 living offspring, and 8 of them we know the whereabouts of. So that's incredible. That really, really is amazing. And in my experience in tracking and following and seeing different leopards in many different areas, it's funny how some females are they just got a knack at raising cubs, and they do so well at raising the cubs. Other females some of them just can't fall pregnant, or if they give birth to the cubs, they often lose the cubs before they reach 3 or 4 months. It has happened. I've seen it before. So it's incredible how nature shifts and changes, and how some animals are just geared for raising cubs and for raising offspring for them to be successful. It's amazing, and some aren't. But I suppose that's nature's way of keeping a balance, isn't it? I'm going to sit here for a few more minutes, just see if these little leopards do decide to move. And Taylor's back out on the road. I think she put rain covers on, but she's heading back to that big male lion. Let's go see what it is up to. And now this young leopard just stood up, and this is the young male, Hosana, Karula's young male cub, and Hosana. Hope I'm saying it correctly. James will probably shout at me later if I get it wrong. I'm just going to try back up a little bit here. Give me a second. I think I might get a little gap for you through there. How's that? Oh, there we go. The smallest of gaps, but we can see him beautifully. You can actually see he's got a beautiful thick neck already. I think he just winked at us. That was definitely a wink. I think he was saying well done for finding this gap. But he does appear to have, and I'd love to see the female, so we can just kind of show the difference between the two and compare the two. But he does look like he's already got quite a thick neck and a larger head. Unfortunately, everyone, we're starting to get more drizzle where we are at the moment. I'm hoping it just holds off a few more minutes. But you can see actually the weather behind that leopard, little drizzle that is in there. So, yeah, I think he's still just hiding on there, and probably waiting or looking for a bit of cover until maybe the female comes and decides to fetch them and take them to a kill. Wouldn't that be nice? Hopefully on our side. We know Karula is a very, very, very successful hunter. She does very, very well with providing for these two cubs. Now I'm just trying to think. I can't see the female at all. Little Xongile. I cannot see her. She's right on top of that termite mound, but we don't have a clear view of her from where we are now. As you can see, it's very, very thick. But lovely to see both of them nonetheless. I really don't think they are going to move anytime soon. Alright, this drizzle, as I said, it's now unfortunately becoming a little bit harder. So, yeah, and I'm terribly sorry, everyone. We are going to have to leave these leopards, but I'm so glad you did get to see them. We're going to go try to put on some rain covers and that, and we'll see you a little bit later. Let's head back to James and his caterpillar.